Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because honestly, we are looking at a story that is practically guaranteed to brighten your day. Now, we usually tackle complex data or, intricate scientific concepts here, but today we're breaking down the anatomy of a viral moment. Specifically, we're looking at this remarkable moment of human connection that took place right at a fast food counter. It's a story that absolutely captured the attention of the internet, and we're going to unpack exactly how and why it happened. So I want to start by asking, how hard is it to order salsa? I mean, for most of us, it's a total afterthought, right? You just ask for it. But I want you to imagine a scenario where you're standing in a really busy, incredibly loud restaurant. The line is moving fast, the workers are rushing around, and you simply cannot bridge the gap of spoken language to ask for what you need. Well, that was the highly frustrating reality and just massive language barrier faced by a deaf customer recently. It's the kind of thing that turns a completely routine errand into an incredibly isolating, confusing experience. Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1, a viral Taco Bell encounter and the challenge of a simple order. Picture the scene for a second. It's the middle of the chaotic daytime rush. Registers are beeping, people are talking, and amidst all of this, a customer is completely lost, unable to get his order across. And the thing is, his request wasn't even complicated. He literally just wanted a side of salsa and a side of sour cream. That's it, the whole shebang. But he didn't know how to order it in a way the staff could understand, and the staff, they had no idea how to communicate back to him. The whole transaction had completely stalled out. That is, until an 18-year-old employee named Caleb Francis noticed what was going on and confidently stepped right up to the counter. Caleb immediately began using ASL, American Sign Language, to communicate with the customer. Now, Caleb obviously wasn't doing this for an audience, but another customer waiting in that exact same line saw this beautiful interaction unfolding, pulled out their phone, and caught the whole thing on camera. They posted it on social media, and you guys, it absolutely exploded. It went incredibly viral. And you can see the direct result of that positive attention in the reaction from Caleb's leadership at the store. They said, "When I saw the video, I was very, very happy and very proud. He's so super with customers." I mean, come on, that is exactly the kind of recognition every manager hopes they can give their team. Which brings us to Section 2. 2 years in the making, beneath the surface. Let's move to this timeline and see how this builds, because while the internet saw a spontaneous, magical moment of kindness, the reality is a lot like an iceberg. The foundation for this had been building quietly beneath the water for 2 entire years. See, Caleb's journey to this viral moment didn't actually start at Taco Bell. It started 2 years ago when he was just a typical high schooler trying to pick his classes. As he tells it, he's just an 18-year-old trying to figure out life after high school. He likes to keep busy, doesn't like to just sit around. So when it was time to choose electives, he knew he wanted to try something a little bit different. And over those 2 years in between, he learned American Sign Language, which perfectly set the stage for the present, that fateful day shift at Taco Bell. And here is what I love about this. Caleb isn't some untouchable superhero with a grand master plan to save the world. No way. 2 years ago, he was literally just picking electives. He didn't want to take art. He didn't want to take ceramics. He noticed that everyone he knew was taking Spanish, so he kind of wanted to avoid that. And he completely skipped French because, well, his dad already speaks it. So almost by process of elimination, he thought, all right, I'll just take sign language. No big deal. He took 2 full years of it, never actually knowing when or where he'd use it, but just trusting that at some point it would come in handy. All right, moving on to Section 3, breaking the savior misconception and the real joy of connection. Now, what's really interesting here is that when a video like this goes viral, people just love to project a hero narrative onto it. The internet's prevailing misconception from people watching was, oh wow, you probably made his day so much easier. They basically viewed Caleb as the savior rescuing a helpless customer. But the reality was actually a feeling of mutual excitement. Caleb wasn't looking down from some pedestal. He was meeting this customer eye to eye. Caleb's own words really hit the nail on the head. He says, "It is just as exciting for me to get to sign to people." When someone tells him they sign, his immediate reaction is, "Oh, that's so exciting." It is entirely a two-way street. He has grown to absolutely love this language. For him, it wasn't about performing an act of charity. It was the pure, unfiltered thrill of finally getting to speak a language he had spent 2 years studying and getting to share a genuine human connection with someone who actually understood it. Let's look at the final piece of this story. Section 4, a lasting ripple effect beyond the viral moment. We usually forget viral videos, 15 minutes later? But this digital virality was different. The original post saw over 200 shares in less than 48 hours.
Now, that might not sound like millions of views, but for a local, completely organic video captured by a bystander, that is a massive, highly concentrated spread of good news. It shows exactly how hungry people are to see positive, constructive interactions in their daily feeds. And this brilliantly illustrates the real-world impact. Get this, because of that video being shared, Caleb reports that 3 other local deaf residents have actually come into that specific Taco Bell. Why? Specifically so they could sign their orders with him. Just think about that for a second. They altered their daily routines and chose the specific restaurant because they knew that behind that counter was someone who would welcome them, understand them, and speak their language. And Caleb is for sure not stopping here. You'd think going viral might be the peak of this whole experience, but for him, it's literally just the launching pad. His next steps are simple, but man, are they profound. Step 1, he is going to continue practicing American Sign Language. Step 2, he wants to become even more fluent. He is taking the immense positive momentum from this single, everyday interaction and using it as fuel to better himself and his ability to connect with the deaf community. Which brings us to our final takeaway for today. What simple skill could you learn today to make someone else's tomorrow? Remember, Caleb picked ASL on a whim, basically, because he didn't want to take ceramics. 2 years later, it completely transformed a frustrated customer's day and sparked this massive wave of joy across the internet. It just goes to show that the things we learn in passing today hold the potential to be exactly what someone else desperately needs tomorrow. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this explainer, and hey, I hope this inspires you to go out and make your own moments of connection. Catch you next time.